Welcome back for the second day of the 31 Days of Horror series. Today I'll be telling you a little bit about White God, not to be confused with White Dog from Samuel Fuller from 1982. I often mix up those two titles, but White Dog is a totally different breed altogether. That one deals with a dog being trained to kill black people. Yep, you heard that right, a movie about a racist dog attacking black people. Probably a movie worth having its own review, as this definitely is a non-politically correct film. You won't get away with a premise like this anymore without getting some major backlash in the press. White God, however, is as arthouse as they come, and my attention was drawn to it by other reviewers stating that it has some horror elements infused in it. One reviewer even states that it has a rabid relation to Hitchcock's The Birds, but that analogy oversells the horror elements way too much. This Hungarian film from director Cornel Mondruccio is an oftentimes slow-paced drama without any build-up of suspense, but designed to make you think about animal cruelty and that animals also have feelings and their own mannerisms. How often can man abuse the trust of his dog before his dog turns against him? This film takes that basic concept and multiplies it by 274, as that is the amount of trained dogs that were used in the making of this movie, which is the world record for the most dogs used in a feature film. It starts from the perspective of a little girl and the relationship with her domesticated dog. She's staying on a holiday with her father, and quickly her father disapproves of her dog being in his apartment. This is enforced by his landlady, and basically everybody but the girl has bad intentions for her dog. So the dog eventually gets dropped off and left behind for his own survival. Here, the movie switches perspective to the dog's view, and the movie kicks into gear as a dark and depressing version of Homeward Bound, where the dog tries to find his way home. He then gets acquainted with the darker side of the human condition, which is a pretty tough watch if you are an animal lover. When the dogs in this film get enough of all the abuse they suffer, they start banding together as a pack. And that's the point where it could be considered a nature striking back film. Don't take me wrong, mostly this movie is a very slow-paced drama, which is the most interesting when the dogs are at its center of attention. There are a couple of times where perspective switches to the little girl again, and that's the point where the movie kinda drags. If it were 20 minutes shorter, it would be for the better, as at 2 hours the film takes the basic premise a bit too unevenly long. It takes at least 80 minutes before the Cujo part kicks in, and when it does, you'll be rooting and cheering for the dogs. It's beautifully shot with lots of atmospheric aerial views of the huge amount of dogs used in this film. The dog's behavior is unbelievably realistic and makes the film quite unique in its scope. Beautifully framed at times, but sometimes they went for the handheld shaky cam variety, which was distracting at times. But yeah, it was probably done to make the dogs more menacing and vicious by camera tricks, so that you can see that they were in fact playing. Also, the acting of the little girl was off sometimes, as she uses the same expression for every emotion during the whole film. Now where have we seen that before? It sometimes also looked like they just waxed her eyes to make her seem crying, but it was hard to believe she was actually feeling that way. So in conclusion, it was an interesting watch. Definitely not a straight up horror movie, but certainly thought-provoking because the cruelty in the film is, alas, a daily reality. So if you are a dog owner, it will make you want to hug your pooch. Peace out, see you next time.